Raider Nation, what's going on? You guys are watching the Raiders Report. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, ready to break down the latest news and rumors going on around the Las Vegas Raiders. But before I do, major shout out to today's sponsor, Fetch Rewards. This is an awesome app where you guys can get rewarded for all of your shopping. How? Earn free rewards on literally everything you buy. Take a simple screenshot of your grocery, restaurant receipt, and then turn that into some bonus points to then get gift cards. How do you do it? Chatsports.com/Fetch. 3,000 bonus points when you use code Raiders. Now, we're going to be talking about Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler. We're going to also look at the Super Bowl matchup. We're going to talk about Gus Bradley, Greg Olson. That's all coming up here on today's show. Let's talk about Josh McDaniels because the Las Vegas Raiders, they hired a brand new head coach on Sunday. Mark Davis, his team, Ventrell, they all had dinner with McDaniels on Friday in Las Vegas after he flew in. McDaniels then interviewed on Saturday, and according to multiple reports, the interview went as well as you could have hoped for. Now, Davis seemed like he had his eyes on McDaniels the entire time. All the rumors that were around Jim Harbaugh, it sounds like that they were a little bit more smoke than anything, but the fact that he wanted McDaniels, this is a little bit of a gamble considering of McDaniels' past history. But on top of that, the reason why I'm starting to come together on this joint hiring is because I do have a lot of faith in Dave Ziegler, who is now the new general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders. And technically, Ziegler was hired first, and then the Raiders went ahead and basically 15, 20 minutes later, they then announced the hiring of McDaniels. But Ziegler and McDaniels, these guys have been working together for quite some time, and a lot of the biggest issues in the past, whether it was free agency, whether it was trades, whether it was trades, free agency, or the draft, it was because Mayock and Gruden, they didn't see eye to eye, and Gruden had that 51-49 control. With both of these guys coming in, I think you're going to see a little bit more of a democracy in terms of who's going to be making final decisions. The entire staff will, instead of just Gruden being like, you know what, it's my decision at the end of the day. So what I want you guys to do right now is grade the hiring of McDaniels and Ziegler as a team. Josh McDaniels is the head coach. Dave Ziegler as general manager. Grade them together. A, B, C, D, or F. A, you absolutely loved it. B, it was a good hire. C, it was average. D, it was bad. F, it's a fail. I'm going to go ahead and, as it stands right now, and give this a B grade. Now, the Raiders, they made those announcements, and one of the things that I always like to do is go to social media and see how certain players react to the news that they went out and hired McDaniels. Here's what Josh Jacobs tweeted out. Unfortunately, he then deleted it, and it is the nervous face emoji, which looks like this. Oh, no, I don't know if I like the move. But no really other players went ahead and talked too much about McDaniels. I think all they did was they just continued to show love for Bisaccia, who, let's face it, this was the very first team ever to have an interim head coach, win 10 games, go to the NFL playoffs. It's the Raiders' only second playoff appearance in 19 seasons. So when you see guys like, I love this one here from Will Compton. Then you got Roderic Teamer. He weighed in on his options. And then the two guys who you probably think, at least Maxx Crosby, is definitely going to be a face of the Raiders for a long time. And then your franchise face, Derek Carr, both weighed in, showing nothing but love for Rich Bisaccia, who they all deemed, and they gave him the nickname Papa Bisaccia. When you can come in and you can lead a team and you can go through everything that locker room went through, there is no doubt that there's going to be a lot of people upset that Bisaccia is no longer the head coach and it's going to be someone new, but that does not mean that they're not going to get behind somebody like Josh McDaniels. Now, yesterday, Sunday, was a crazy day, and even though I was expecting to not have to work on my off day, we make a promise to y'all. We are a YouTube channel for the nation, made by the nation, and as you saw yesterday, when breaking news happens, we go live, we give you everything. It doesn't matter what the heck's going on in my life. I know that for a fact. So if you're looking for free videos, hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications. For those of you that don't know how to turn on the notification bell, you literally click the bell underneath the video. Then you can go to your settings app, scroll down, tap YouTube, tap notifications, and then turn on allow notifications, which basically means as soon as the video gets dropped here on the Raiders Report, you get notified just like you would, I don't know, like a booty call or a DM on Instagram or, anything of those natures if you've ever had one. At the end of the day, I just don't want you to miss any news or rumors going on here around Las Vegas because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in the offseason. Let's now talk about the Raiders interim head coach, Rich Bisaccia, who technically is still on the staff. Unfortunately, I don't see him staying with the Raiders when you see all the players talking about it. I've actually talked to somebody close to Bisaccia that said that he actually thought it was a little bit of a spit in the face in terms of the Raiders not wanting him back, because the last time the Raiders went to the playoffs, Jack Del Rio got a hefty raise. Bisaccia basically gets the door. So he's going to be interviewing for the Jaguars head coaching job. That has been announced on Monday. There's a report out there that the Bears, they have shown some interest in him as a special teams coordinator, and he could actually also take Rod Marinelli with him. But the issue is this: Rich Bisaccia is not staying with the Raiders. But let me get this very clear. I am happy for Papa Bisaccia, the fact that he is finally getting interviewed for a head coaching job, because if you've been coaching in the league, or not in the league, but coaching since 1978, which is what Bisaccia is doing, and a lot of times you get these special teams coordinators, they get overlooked. What he was able to do for this team, I don't think he's the most qualified head coach, but if you're looking for somebody that could be a solid glue guy, that's what Rich Bisaccia is, and I'm happy that there's an NFL team out there interested in at least interviewing him to be the next head coach. Now, I'm also happy that I got this awesome freaking app here from Fetch Rewards, and you guys can earn gift cards and get cash back by snapping your grocery, shopping, and restaurant receipts with the Fetch Rewards app. There's a reason why it's the #1 rewards app right now. So if what you guys are going to be able to see is over to the right of me, I know it's a really long receipt, but hey, we did a lot of shopping over the weekend. You guys can see how simple and easy it is to just take a picture of whatever you got and then get those rewards. So all you guys have to do is go to chatsports.com/fetch. Let me say it again, chatsports.com/fetch. When then use promo code Raiders, that's going to get you 3,000 bonus points, and then it literally just pops like this. You get some confetti. So whether you're going to Amazon, Target, maybe you're going to take your girl, or maybe your girlfriend's going to take you out for dinner, save your receipts, take pictures of them, and then that way you can then earn gift cards to some of your favorite places like Amazon, like Target, like Walmart, all that good stuff. chatsports.com/fetch. That is going to be in the comments and in the description of today's video. So I've been getting asked a lot, all right, well, if you're going to bring in a new head coaching staff, what does that mean for Gus Bradley, and what does it mean for Greg Olson? I'm going to tell you right here. Is Gus Bradley done with the Las Vegas Raiders? It is not official yet. Nothing has been announced, but I'm telling you right now, it's for no Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. Gus Bradley not going to be back with the Raiders, and it's not because Bradley didn't do a good job. I mean, I actually think he did a really good job with this team. The issue is when you bring in a new head coach, when you bring in a new staff, it means you're going to then, go ahead and bring in a new staff. Now, the Raiders, they hired McDaniels, they hired Ziegler, and now Bradley is going to interview with the Indianapolis Colts. So he's going to interview with Indy to be their next DC. Now, sure, as it stands right now, he is still a defensive coordinator, but that's just not going to last for very long. In terms of Raiders points allowed over the last 5 seasons, I see on Twitter right now that apparently saying Gus Bradley did a good job is a hot take, and I can understand the idea because, all right, they're like, all right, well, we were 26th out of 32 teams in terms of points per game allowed, which, yeah, when you say that out loud, it doesn't seem very good. But a lot of the times, the reason why the Raiders gave up points is because the offense couldn't sustain drives. They couldn't do anything, and then they ended up getting tired. And then when you really talk about how bad the Raiders defense was last season, gave up the most yards in Raiders franchise history. They were the worst defense in the entire NFL. So I really thought that Bradley did a good job, made a lot of leaps and bounds, and he also brought in the right guys like Denzel Perriman, Yannick Ngakoue, Casey Hayward. Now, in terms of what's going to happen next, we got to be able to figure out a solid DC. Now, I told y'all Paul Guenther was an absolute nightmare. Then you got Ken Norton Jr., Dason Tarver, and then you got Chuck down there. Shout out to Chuck, my dog. But Gus Bradley in 2021, no longer going to be the next DC. So here's my question to all of y'all. Who do you want as the next Raiders defensive coordinator? I know a lot of times we put a lot of conversation on the offense, on Derek Carr, because people who watch the Raiders and aren't true football fans, all they know how to talk about is the quarterback. But the defense needs to improve, and this defense does need to play a lot better. So who do you want as the next Raiders DC? What I figured I would do here, and I'm going to just throw out 5 names. Now, I got to do more research, and I will continue to do more research. But I really believe here are 5 names in terms of who could be the next Raiders DC. Don Martindale, Wink, he was let go from Baltimore. Definitely a name to keep in mind. I personally believe the front runner for the job is Jerod Mayo, linebacking coach of New England, who also actually had an interview to be the next head coach. I think that one's definitely a connection to watch. Todd Bowles, some of you are like, wait, why would he leave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? If Tom Brady's actually retiring, he should try to get out of there now. Let's go to Brian Flores, then, former head coach of Miami. A lot of connections there with New England. And let's not forget Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia was a very, very solid defensive mind with New England. He went to Detroit. It didn't work out, but, Detroit's absolute dumpster fire, as Matthew Stafford is showing since he's in the Super Bowl. Now, if you guys want to stay up to date on everything going on around Las Vegas, not only subscribe to the Raiders Report, but also make sure you guys give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at MitchellRents365. I do my best to keep you guys up to date with news, with rumors, and a lot of the times the stuff that you see on the show, I'm actually putting on my social media, and then I end up discussing it on the show. So, again, never miss anything. Give me a follow on IG at MitchellRents365. Let's now talk about Greg Olson. Is he done in Vegas? Same story? Yes. 4-0 Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. New staff. Or new head coach means new staff. Olson, he's been there since 2018. He was also the old OC a few years ago before that even. And even though he is still technically the offensive coordinator, the very first thing that I would do is say, all right, Olson, thanks, but at the same time, no thanks. The offense, the red zone struggles were absolutely there. I do like being able to bring in McDaniels because the Patriots, despite them not having a very talented offensive roster, we're top 10 in basically every single red zone category, which is absolutely what you need. So look for the Raiders to use more of Josh Jacobs, look for the Raiders to use more of 2 tight end sets, and look for them to try to take care of the football a little bit more responsible with Derek Carr. In terms of Raiders points for, 18 out of 32 last season with 22.0 points per game. Definitely would have liked to see what the Raiders offense could have done, considering the fact of if you would have had Henry Ruggs and Darren Waller for most of the year. But at the end of the day, we're going on now, y'all. Like, we have not been a top half offense in the past 5 seasons. Now, that obviously doesn't go all on DC. It goes on the receivers. It goes on the offensive line, but it absolutely goes on the head coach and OC, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted Greg Olson out a long time ago. Now, here are your past offensive coordinators. Hopefully, we get a little bit more success. And I know a lot of y'all liked Bill Musgrave, but just like Musgrave had to go. Why? You bring in new people, right? I mean, it's just simply how it goes. So who do you want as the next Raiders offensive coordinator? Let me know down in the comments section of what y'all are thinking. I'm going to be breaking down some candidates just like I did for the defensive side. And then as soon as the Raiders announce officially that Gus Bradley is no longer going to be there, that Greg Olson's no longer going to be there, and then even Rich Bisaccia, I'm going to be making replacement videos, so please stay tuned on that. So who do you want as the next Raiders offensive coordinator? Here are 5 names to at least just keep in mind. I know there was a report that Bill O'Brien was at least linked. I don't really think that report was true whatsoever. It's just people misreading Adam Schefter's tweet. Though Bill O'Brien's name should at least be brought up in terms of his connections with the Patriots, his connections with Josh McDaniels. And you can say what you want about O'Brien and his head coaching stint with Houston not being great, but also the team that he was given was not very good. You really have to consider that. And he's a smart offensive mind. He did a good job at Bama. I thought he did a really good job building a solid Penn State program. And every time he's been an OC, he has done a good job. Mike Kafka, quarterback coach at Kansas City, he's one of the guys that I would absolutely call up. Thomas Brown's been a pretty popular name, the running backs coach for the Rams. Pep Hamilton, I love Pep Hamilton. I think he's done a phenomenal job with Davis Mills and even some past quarterbacks that he's worked with. And I know that Joe Brady was fired from the Carolina Panthers. I still think that he's a smart offensive mind and can work very well with a quarterback like Derek Carr. Now, it's Super Bowl 56, y'all. I don't know about y'all, if I could get an FKC down in the comments, because I was just so happy that I wasn't going to have to watch the Chiefs, and I'm really even happy I got to watch the 49ers in the Super Bowl. If y'all would have told me this would have been the game a few months ago, probably would have said you're crazy, but I do think it'd be really cool to see Matthew Stafford win a ring. I also think it'd be really cool to see the Bengals win a game, because just 2 years ago, they had the number 1 overall pick in the draft. So it shows that you can rebuild a team if you have the right pieces in place. Now, the Rams are 4-point favorites. The over-under is 49.5 points. So before I go, I want you guys to let me know who you got in this game. Type LAR for the Los Angeles Rams, or I want you to go ahead and type CIN for the Bengals. I'm personally going to be betting on Cincy to cover the +4. And I'm going to go with Joe Burrow. I think that guy is simply just a winner. The offense was great. Lou, the defensive coordinator for Cincinnati, had great second-half adjustments up against KC to allow only 3 points. Give me the Bengals to win this game. And I'm also going to take the over because life's too short to bet the under. So Bengals, they're going to win Super Bowl 56. But you guys let me know who you got.